Hello, everyone. Welcome to the topic of the 7-year cycles, one of my many favorite topics. Now, I recall all of this because I remember learning this in a couple of college courses in psychology that I took. So I know a lot of you recall all this, and if you've forgotten, I'm going to awaken it in you. The beauty of the 7-year cycles is that is what's supposed to be happening with a person from the time they're birthed till they're done. If it's not happening, then something is going on. They're stuck somewhere. We have to heal or repair something that's not allowing us to move forward. So that's important, not to be stuck in that wheel of the 7-year cycles and what happens every 7 years. So let's start with the 0 to 7 years because I love this time. You know, it's a stage in a child's life where they're totally one with the mother and totally dependent on the mother for their life. A time when the umbilical cord was broken and you're supposed to be detached from the mother. When the umbilical cord is cut. You know, a time when the child cannot actually distinguish himself from the mother. I mean, the child can't tell the difference for a period of time. I find that so amazing. It's a time when the spirit begins to reincarnate into the physical body. Beautiful. Making the child stronger, giving the child a sense of self, that they are not their mother. They begin going to school, which is such a large milestone, and begin to separate from the mother as well as the mother from the child. It begins a lot of the journey of experiencing who they are. So the key is not for the child not to get stuck in the mother's emotions, because we are so trying to distinguish ourselves and separating ourselves and knowing that we are not our mother. So a very important time during this time. That's how come, you know, sometimes after 7 years of age, people are still carrying the mother's emotions because they've not learned to separate themselves from mother. Ages 7 to 14, and you know, you all have had children, and so this is so accurate. It's a time of commitment and a fight for life. It's when the immune system is supposed to be becoming stronger. The child begins to rise from illnesses, you know, communicable diseases, measles, mumps, etc. But a lot of hormonal changes take place, as you all know, as mothers during this time. Oh my God, puberty, Lord help us, and all the ups and downs. It's kind of a time, as we kind of say, when men become men and women become women. Ages 14 to 21. Emotions are everywhere. They're wild. The hormones are raging everywhere. Emotions flare up. The person at that age demands more attention. They're confusing. They tend to form relationships that turn into conflicts, betrayal sometimes, infatuation, falling in love, romantic attachments, and just as easily falling out of love, which can result a lot of times in their pain, experiencing their, you know, the emotional pain from that, dramas, beliefs that they're a mess, that, you know, nobody wants them, etc. They create a lot of self-judgment during this time, or feel that they, you know, always make mistakes or they can't do anything right. Ages 21 through 28. They are supposedly supposed to start gaining control of their own emotions, full of energy, lusting for life, excited, because they know they're close to approaching the age of 30 and they need to be more responsible adults, become less selfish. That is what's supposed to be occurring. And, you know, a lot of us can say that we may know people that in fact still hasn't occurred because they're stuck somewhere. Ages 28 to 35. The body's in full bloom, feeling more ambitious, an appetite for creation begins to emerge, learning, wanting to learn more, their talents or ideas, new creations that already had revealed themselves, usually in their late 20s. They begin to command more of their physical powers of themselves, more of their instincts, and knowing that that enables them to use them for their personal vision, dreams, desires. Ages 35 to 42. Crises can tend to occur a lot during that time, like divorce, financial issues, health crisis. Person begins to perhaps begin to embrace a more spiritual approach to living or feel like they need to do that. It's kind of like saying a time when the soul begins to awaken its presence and letting you know of its needs. We begin to question the meaning of life. What is the source of happiness? That kind of thing. So those are all the experiences we're supposed to be experiences from the time we're birthed. So if this isn't happening, or you see that one of your children, that has not occurred with them, then they're stuck somewhere. They're carrying emotions that have not been repaired or healed based on what they're repeating and duplicating. I'm going to stop right here, and I'm going to continue with a part 2 in another video that talks about ages 42 and beyond. Thank you for listening and always sharing if you're drawn to. Be well.